I'm very happy to be here. First of course, want to say thank you to Creative Mornings. 13 years ago, we entered this stage as the first lecture we ever did. I have never been that nervous before, and we were totally like green. So we got the chance to speak at Creative Mornings, which I'm forever thankful for. After that, we've been to over 45 countries in the world. And yeah, it was 13 years ago. Today, I thought about it, and I'm not nervous at all. So of course, it's like something that you have trained and you do a lot, but thanks to Creative Mornings, that's like, yeah, that was a starting point for us. Now Eric, who at that point, we dressed up as a rabbit, and he held the lighter, and we played Changes by Tupac. He couldn't be here. And Magnus, he's not working at Snask anymore, we're friends, but yes, so that's a little update. So hello and fuck, because we have to start with this. Where is the world going? It's going to hell, thanks to idiot fucking men destroying the world in various ways, as we all know. So no surprise here. History shown us that this has happened a million times before, and it will probably happen again. So we hopefully just can learn something from this and yeah, make the world a better place. 5 years ago, this German magazine asked us to do a poster about how Europe basically was the theme. And we thought 5 years ago, yeah, the right-wing winds are blowing through Europe, so we made this poster handmade. Just because you're extremely right doesn't mean you're correct. Unfortunately, this is more valid than ever. We didn't think about that when we did it. We're Snask, we've been around for 18 years now. So who are we really? We're a design, branding, and film agency, meaning our parents think we do computer or data, which is fine. Every Christmas, after 2 days, you can't keep explaining, it's okay. So computer is okay. This is an important slide. You think, holy shit, they're so professional, they work with all these clients. It's actually all the clients that don't want to work with us anymore. But if you have a lecture, you can email me and I'll send you this slide, and you put it in one of your first 10 slides, and it will look like you're super professional. This is our painting. So we asked this student, when she was a student, Ulrika Westerberg, an artist, to paint first a copy of the Salem witch trials, painted in 1852. And then we asked her to start paint us into the painting. So it's everyone we work with. So she's still working on this, actually, 12 years later. We have a tattoo flag. We tattoo all our interns. We had so many interns now, so it's a lot of people in the world that has anxiety. We have a doorbell, and we got tired of someone ringing the bell and we have to run and open a door. It felt a bit stupid, so we put the speaker on the outside instead, so we didn't hear it. And then we felt, well, maybe they can get compliments instead. So this is what happens.
You're the best thing that happened today. You know what? You're the best thing that happened today. My God, those shoes look great on you.
So it's not that good for business because we don't hear that anyone is at the door. But when we do find someone there, they're very happy because they got showered in compliments. We also have this police mirror. So from the outside, you see yourself. And from the inside, we will see you, and I'll show you how this works. This is our office. This is where we sit and work. Very pink, of course. The kitchen, the painting. That's where the intern lives. And as you can see, you see yourself. So sometimes it's become really awkward when we have meetings in this room. Not sure if this is a Swedish thing, but yeah. We also stole one of the stones when they remade the street outside. You just have to be confident, and then no one will ask you. And then we sent it to a tombstone artist. They put in our manifesto point: if you love someone, let it show. And then we put it back. This is really good to evaluate hair on people. So you see on the extreme right and left, there's a lot more hair, and the middle is less hair maybe. We also have our own merch and clothing line, so you can definitely check that out if you want. We also sell our own bike together with one of the founders of CreativeMornings Stockholm, Rickard. We made this bike. It's not really worth the money. It's 800 euros, but you get a book for free if you buy it. We remade one of our bathrooms into choirs, so they sing in 8 different tones when you pull them. So this is Max who made it. And it's amazing that it keeps singing when longer you pull it. So if you're a musician, you can make a whole song in there if you have time. The other bathroom, we did a vote in the studio and we decided to do WIPE, which stands for Wills Institute of Private Exhibitions, which is the world's shittiest Will Ferrell museum in the world. They actually photographed Molly Sandén when she made the film with him, the song for him. And he's been seen outside our office, but we're normally closed in July when he's here. We also have our own book, of course. We released this in the 3rd and final edition. We took artsy photographs because we felt like, we have to look like art directors and very serious and very professional. And then we decided that, well, maybe we want to be rich instead, so then we retook the photos, more Wall Street style business. So whatever you want to learn, if you want to be very pretentious or if you want to be rich, it's up to you. We also do some real work, actually. So this is Klarna, you probably know, they put people in debt super fast, very accurate, very effective. Bang & Olufsen rebranded them. We redid an ICA store in Täby. It looks like this now. We did films for Holvi, this Finnish fintech startup. We did a campaign for Dollar Store that got a lot of hate and love. It said, "Welcome to Dollar Store, welcome to hell." People got really angry because they thought we were basically wanting to make them angry. We didn't. We just thought about the fun thing that everyone thinks it's like hell going to the Dollar Store. Then we did Christmas, so then we focused on, instead of down, we focused on up. Welcome to heaven. Thought it would piss off even more people, but no one got pissed off on this. We also did some films for Oddly Good and campaigns. So this is Cheesington, their new cheese. As you can see, we do everything by hand. We don't use AI or 3D, so we're a very slow agency. But slow people are charming, you know. We also did this way back, which is the world's biggest poster ever for Malmö Festival. So we actually made it 13 meters long and 9 meters wide and photographed it 30 meters up in the air, which is not very good if you're afraid of heights. We made music videos for Viagra Boys, who's now taken over the world, Sebastian Murphy from Stockholm, and some advertisement for Curaprox, Swiss tooth company, dentist company. Some films for Meta, some films for Adidas using kittens, and also films for The Hives, music videos, where we actually won a Grammy, but I'll come to that later. I want to go into the first case. Design should tell a story, and this is because it proves a point. We teamed up with Pang Pang Brewery here in Stockholm, and we said, let's create a beer together where you focus as a brewer on making the beer, what you're best at, and we focus on what we do best, design, branding, and storytelling. And so we decided to make a beer that is specifically made to drink in a shower. So it's called shower beer. It's only 18 centiliters because if you ever drank a beer in the shower, it gets warm, very hot. So you drink it in 4 sips, but it's 10% alcohol, so you get the same effect, don't worry. It's screen printed, so you have a good grip. And it's a pale ale, so if it's rich in protein. So if you want to use it as a conditioner, you can do that as well. TV loves this. So this is Kelly's show in New York talking about it.
When I get to drink again, I'll be able to enjoy a cold beer in the shower. Check this out. A Swedish design firm has teamed up with a brewery there to create a pale ale that's half the size of a regular beer bottle. It's brewed and stuff.
Well, the celebrities loves it. So Tom Hanks said on national radio, if you have enough of them, you'll eventually be drunk enough to fall down in the shower, which is probably true. Magazines loves it. So Vice wrote, "There's finally a beer made specifically for drinking in the shower." They waited for so long, right? Esquire magazine, a Swedish brewery, created the ultimate shower beer. Fortune magazine, this genius Swedish brewer made a shower beer. Runners loves it. So Runners World wrote, "Because let's face it, nothing is more satisfying after a long run." It's like fucking up everything you just did. But maybe that's why you run, I don't know. Men loves it, at least men who reads Men's Health. "Behold, the answer to your prayers." And it's written by Guy Wisdom, which is ironic in a way. Maybe you can pray about different things. This is Lad Bible. They made a film. They got 5.6 million views and 25,000 shares. Also reviewed the beer, how it tasted before we even released it, so we didn't even know what it tasted like. Maxime, this is a whole staff of Maxime. "Live your best life with a new beer." So not a partner, but a beer. They want to live a life with a beer. And then, "Is there any greater pleasure in life?" So we believe maybe they're incels or something. Could be. Men's experience, here it may be men with less experience. "Now moms won't pester you to take a bath anymore." Or just have bad personal hygiene. Or Italians, they live with mom. Moms loves it though. "If you're more of a beer mom, get excited." Women loves it. Womanista wrote, "Shower beer is officially a thing." She Amazing, very good names of these blogs. "We are so very grateful," speaking of womanhood. "She Speaks, especially for your enjoyment, ... in the shower." GQ loves it. This is shower beer. The ultimate wisdom here is, if you like to shower, then next time try with a beer. And of course, the even more wisdom in branding is, it doesn't matter if it was a pale ale, a lager, an IPA, NAPA, whatever the fuck they're called. It didn't matter the actual product here or the service. Brand is something else. It's storytelling, design, brand. That's why it became big. So coming into the next one, favorite thing, fuck data. Really hate data when it comes to branding. So the question is, can we measure everything? And is that really good? Or did we actually lose trust in each other? And that way we have to constantly fucking measure everything and send reports upwards to someone and say, "Look, I did my job. Here's my report." And that way everything felt like, oh, we have to measure everything. Well, we can try this with love then. The most written about subject in the world. Most songs are about love. Everything is about love. So let's measure love. How much do I love my partner at any given moment, and how do we measure? Should we do it from 1 to 100? Well, how much do I love my partner at this moment? Yesterday when she had PMS. Tomorrow when we have a fight, or in 4 days when we have a great date. You know, it's so hard to know when should we measure it, and it's my subjective feeling in that very moment. It's very, very hard. But this is not even what people are measuring. They're measuring what other people think of them. How much does my partner love me at any given moment from 1 to 100? In all these situations, or 100 situations. It's very subjective. It's impossible for me to probably rate it, even though I can have a clue. But even though companies constantly try and ask this to consumers, which is really stupid. Because data is built on numbers. Emotions are not built on numbers. And guess what? Brands are built on emotions. So trying to measure things in branding is pointless, because we're not measuring brand then. So brands are not numbers, humans are not numbers, and love is not numbers, of course. So here's a good quote, the difference between marketing and branding. If marketing is asking someone out on a date, branding is the reason they say yes. So marketing is supposed to inform people and create attention, right? No one here used Tinder, but if you ever did, if you write like a funny message and you send it to 200 of your chosen target group, they open your message, read it, haha, this was funny, but that's not enough. So they click your profile. Like, if you spent your whole about me text writing about what you want from someone else instead, or first image you stand with 2 friends, you're like, who the fuck am I gonna date of these 3 people? Second image, you have sunglasses. Everyone looks like a photo model in sunglasses because it covers your face. Third image, maybe you hold a fish because you think the other gender loves fish or something. Then it's hard for branding, you know. First of all, you're in the sea of sameness. It's kind of generic. You can also see that Andrew, Craig, and Darren to the left here, they kind of go for the big fish. Tony next to them, dual wheels. It's more secure. Mike down in the middle, he goes for small fish. Eric and Kaylin, they go for hidden messaging in marketing. But if we go to David and Mark, they don't really look for love, I think, or they don't need it maybe. It's fine, they already found it. Instead we have Nick and George, they understood how it works, that maybe women will mix me up with this dog or something and think that I'm as cute as the dog or whatever, but it's smarter. But we also have, you can always return to the Machu Picchu trick. There's tons of images online of people on Tinder in front of Machu Picchu because it says everything about you. You love to travel, you love different cultures, you're fit enough to get up the fucking mountain, and if you make a funny face, you're a funny fucker as well. All in one photo, so much that the right photo is actually photoshopped. People are now photoshopping themselves into this image just because it's so good. Find your doppelganger is the most important chapter of this. Me and Eric, we were in Paris, and this garbage truck drove up, and he looked at me and he started screaming, "Steve! Oh, Steve!" I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is Steve? And then we didn't know, and then we went to Mexico, we had a talk, and this girl came up afterwards to Eric and said, "Are you David?" He's like, "What? I just had a talk." "No, I'm Eric." "Are you sure you're not David?" "Who the fuck is David?" Yeah, and then we realized that there are 2 idiots called David Guetta and Steve Aoki. They weren't even friends before. They became friends just a few years ago. They saved out their hair and they started touring under Aoki Guetta. They make, I don't know if it's music, but they have this piano that only has 5 tones. It's basically their we can listen to it here. Yeah, if drugs weren't invented, they wouldn't have a career, but that's okay. So if you're a little bit racist, you can say, well, they're Asian, have long hair, mustache, and leather jacket, they look the same. But have you seen that all white dudes look the same? So when I looked at Eric, I'm like, you actually look more like that motherfucker than I do, the other guy. And I just to prove my point to Eric, I made every second image of Eric and every second image of David Guetta. And it's insane. And even Eric gets dizzy when he looks at these, and he's like, who am I and who is this douchebag called David Guetta? So of course this stirs up problems when we travel together, because everyone thinks we're them. So this is them on their tour. They have bigger bicep than us, of course. This is in South by Southwest in Austin. We did 2 lectures there, and Steve Aoki was playing. He doesn't play really. He throws cakes at people. So my friend got me on stage with him. So that's him throwing a cake in my face as a thank you. That's me to the right-hand side in the armpit of Miley Cyrus' little sister. So this is me coming up afterwards. So even at this fucking gig, people came up. Are you? Oh, you're my idol. I'm like, I'm playing up there. Look, it's not me. This guy came up in the VIP bar and he's like, you know what? I'm like, no, my friend looks like you and he got in for free. I'm like, but I'm not him either, you idiot. And then this is in Mexico when we went to the airport. We had done a talk and we were like, oh, we have some hours to kill. Let's go to the airport. We checked into a lounge. You show your boarding pass, right, with your details on. You go in, and after a while, this happens. And we were like, this us in these coffee mugs, it's not David Guetta and Steve Aoki. We're like, how the fuck did they know that we were here? And the whole crew came out, and then they were like, we really love your music. We were like, oh, what? And then they were like, yeah, we're not allowed to say your real names, but we Googled your fake names. And then we found this, and we were like, fake? So you think that we are, Freddie and Eric are just fake names for these douchebags, and that Snask is just made up as a cover, and that we fly economy like normal people? Yeah, I don't know, it was just, but coffee was good. But ultimate wisdom is just because you don't know about it doesn't mean you don't have a shitty superstar DJ doppelganger. Still a good quote. Mark Shaler from London, our friend, said this once, still valid. Disruption is normal now. Change is fucking inevitable. How it was done yesterday is not how it should be done today. Nothing stays the same, and neither should you. The problem comes when change happens and you don't. Very true for all brands we work with, for all companies in the whole world, also for private people. The problem comes when change happens and you don't. When you didn't change happened, you didn't. You lay in your couch, hand in the crisp bag, and your partner comes in and say, I'm leaving you. Problem, change happened and you didn't, unfortunately. Same as in branding. Be yourself to 110%, own it, and blossom, the theme that we're here for. So, a few years ago, we realized that, are we hungry? Like, people in job ads say, we're looking for a hungry person. Like, you want to work, you want to show your, show what you go for, whatever. We're like fucking tired of that. We're not hungry at all. We're so fucking full. What we are is thirsty for red wine. Yes. We're not hungry, so we're thirsty. And speaking of wine, that means we're blossoming, because when you realize that work is not at all everything in your life, that's when you start to blossom. And speaking about wine and blossoming, we went to this vineyard in Sweden, and this is the most northern vineyard in Sweden, Sätshöga vingård, you should go there. And they said, someone asked them, like, could you not make the perfect conditions for the grapes with new technology, fans, etc.? And they're like, yeah, all that is available, but grapes that grow up in perfect conditions can't become complex wine. So no one would drink those wine because it's not interesting, which is, of course, comparable to humans. If you grow up perfectly, you go to therapy because you have no problems. And your biggest problem is you have to try to become something or someone. It's actually true, and I think that people with trauma and baggage should just try and own it. Because, as I said, grapes grown in too perfect conditions produce less complex wine than grapes grown with stress. So it's something most of us have, and if you don't have it, you have a problem with that as well, and it makes you interesting and complex. Speaking of which, we got this assignment by Adidas and Sneakers and Stuff a few years ago to they wanted us to make a cool film for their new Gore-Tex waterproof sneaker. And we thought, why make it perfect? Why not make it imperfect and really stupid about this genuine but imperfect guy who's a professional puddle jumper. So here's the film.
My name is Thomas, and I'm a puddle jumper. I've always liked jumping in puddles. It's something I'm very passionate about. I guess I was into sports when I was a kid. I played a little bit of football. I used to really like playing when it just had been raining.
My dad always said I could have been a professional football player if it weren't for puddles.
So these are all my favorite shoes. Well, they're all my favorite because it's the same one. It's the new Adidas Stockholm, and it's got this Gore-Tex technology, and it's 100% puddle proof. I wouldn't call myself a pioneer. You could call me if you want to, but I wouldn't.
My parents think it's kind of childish, but I'm not a child. I'm an adult, so I showed them. I'm doing what I love. You should do what you love. That's a really good one. Perfect that.
So this became a huge hit, viral hit, and the creative director of some of the biggest brands contacted them and said like, wow, this is what our industry needs, the sneaker industry, because we take ourselves too seriously, trying to be perfect all the time, and this is way more interesting, just like with wine and with your trauma. So own your trauma and age like a fine complex wine, and you will blossom. Now it's time for selfie time. And then we have Q&A. But since my mom never knows what we do, I'm just gonna film it. I want you to scream like Beyonce or Justin Bieber or something. Can you also raise your hands? We can do a test one. So if you start, just scream. Yes. Okay, good. A little bit less over here, but we can raise it. So I'm gonna do this. Hello, Mom. This is what I do.